Slope is important when you're analyzing lab data because it shows you the relationship between two variables. So for instance, the slope of the line here shows that as you increase temperature, you also increase the amount of glucose that you're producing. If this slope, which is simply the steepness of the line, were zero, instead of having a slope which was positive, you would see here that as you increase temperature, there would be no impact to the amount of glucose that's produced. You could also have a negative slope in which increasing temperature results in producing less glucose. So those are three examples of slope and how it can be used to interpret lab data. Again, a positive slope would show that as you increase one variable, the other variable also increases. A slope of zero indicates that as you increase one variable, there is no impact to the second variable. And a negative slope would mean that as you increase one variable, you decrease the impact on another variable. And this is pretty straightforward for simple lines. However, often when you're doing lab data, you're going to see that the slope of the line changes depending on the data that you collect. So in this experiment, you can see that the slope of the line from here to here is different from the steepness or the slope of the line from this point to this point, which is different from the slope here, which is different from the slope here. So when you're analyzing lab data, and whether that data is given to you in a graph, or whether you're asked to perform an experiment and discuss the data in a graph, in either case, you need to talk about how slope changes based on the relationship between the variables. So you could start this by saying that from this point to this point, there is a positive relationship. However, from this point, 2006 to around 2009, we have a stronger positive relationship. We have a steeper slope. The slope then decreases to its lowest point here between 2009 and 2012. And we then have what's actually a negative slope from 2012 to 2015. So this indicates that the upward trend reached its maximum value from 2006 to 2009. The trend then began to saturate or slow its progress from 2009 to 2012. And from 2012 to 2015, we actually had a negative relationship between the two variables.